What's going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to be looking at the differences and the pros and cons of inbound marketing versus outbound marketing. There's a lot of good things and a lot of costs that come with either one. So depending on what your small business needs or your hustle, one might be better than the other. So let's take a look. Inbound, you see a lot of times people will throw the emoji or the icon of a magnet. Inbound is pulling things in towards you. Whereas with outbound, you see people use the emoji or the icon of a megaphone. Speaking out to people, meeting them where they're at. Before we get into this, you want to make sure that you have an offer and a sales process before you really get into all the details of this marketing strategy. Unless your goal is just strictly promoting your brand, a lot of times in a personal brand type of way, then it's important just to get straight into building that community. All right, let's start with inbound. Inbound marketing is a strategy or a philosophy that's about pulling people towards your company. There's a handful of examples of inbound marketing strategies and techniques, but some main ones to think about are email marketing, search engine optimization or SEO, and then also content marketing. Which within content marketing, there's all sorts of stuff that we can look at. This YouTube video is a great example of content marketing. Within content, you've got blogs, you've got videos, you've got podcasts, you've got organic social media posting across all of those different social platforms. There's a lot to it. People that interact with your inbound efforts, whether it's content or emails, like we had talked about before, typically they're already pretty engaged with what you have out there in the world. And so what that means is they're kind of higher quality leads that you could go after and sell to sooner than later, potentially. One of my favorite things about inbound marketing, another pro, is that it really builds trust because all of the different collateral that you're putting out there into the world that's offering value like we've talked about in other videos. And it helps people build trust and some reciprocity of understanding who you are and what you're about so that they can continue to connect with you, learn to trust you, and understand that you are an authority in the area that you speak on and the services and products that you offer. Another great thing is that it builds your database of assets. So if you have a website that has a blog section, or if you have email sign-up spots where you're starting to collect a database of contacts with emails and other information attached, that is your asset as a company that you have that you can continue to use to build relationship, ask questions, figure out what they need, what they don't care about so much, so that you can service your ideal audience the best way for them. That's good business. Now, the important thing to remember, side note, if you're only posting things that are hosted exclusively by big companies, Facebook, Instagram, things like that, technically they own that. And if the company were to go under or they decided to close your account, you may never get all of that content back. Another cool thing is as long as you continue to trickle out efforts within inbound marketing, it's steady gains. It's going to continue to help you out over time. As you build that, it's kind of like lifting weights. That muscle is going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. Okay, let's look at the cons, the downsides of inbound marketing. Unfortunately, with inbound marketing, like we said, it is slow, steady gains, but that first word, slow. It's going to take you a while to start seeing results. Building a community doesn't happen overnight. Rome was not built in a day. So if you're a freelancer or got a side hustle going on and you have no followers, or it's your first quarter in business as a startup small business, you're gonna have to just be patient. It can also be pretty tough to manage on a day-to-day basis if you think about the different channels of social media and which ones you're gonna be regularly posting on, coming up with those ideas, the videos, the pictures, the stories, the captions, let alone trying to work on the SEO so that your Google ranking continues to go higher so that Google actually serves your website and content to people searching for it. You also have to consider the time that it's going to take as far as an investment of engaging with the audience. Whether it's a small audience or a larger audience, once the comments start coming in, you want to make sure that you're engaging and interacting. You don't want this to be a one-sided type of relationship. And if the people on the other side that could be a customer for you in the future feels like it's being a little bit one-sided, they're not going to come back. So essentially, inbound marketing is a little bit of a turtle. It just costs you some time, it's steady gains, but if you can stick with it for a while and have a strategy that has some longevity to it, it could work out really well for you. Outbound marketing. Let's look at it. Outbound is the megaphone. That's what we see all the time. It's putting the word out. Another way to say it is really you're taking what you have to offer to the world and you're going out and meeting people where they're at. Some examples would be cold calling, influencer marketing. We've got pay-per-click ads, which is basically just the Google ads. We've got social media ads. We've got print ads. All sorts of ads kind of fall into this outbound category, as well as billboards and snail mail, things like that. Now, there are definitely some advantages to outbound marketing if your company is ready for it. Let's look at it. Number one, it can produce some very, very quick results. There are many, many stories of companies, whether big or small, that put up some sort of ad campaign that goes out on social media, and overnight they rake in thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Outbound is great for new products that you have coming up, new offers that may be attached with that, sales, discounts, coupons, and especially in the holiday season, you see a lot of outbound efforts coming from companies. Another advantage is that you don't really need a following to see results with outbound efforts. As long as you know how to put up good ads that can actually convert the leads into customers, boom, you're making money. So let's look at some of the downsides of outbound marketing. It's higher risk in the sense of you're putting up money up front to put these ads out. So if they don't convert, you're out that money. Another thing is that if you're constantly doing outbound only, you have to be setting up new ad campaigns and new strategies left and right, trying to continue to capture the attention of your audience out where they are. In many cases, outbound marketing typically costs more money just in general, whereas with the inbound, it costs a bit more time. Now, that's not a hard and fast rule, but generally you can kind of think about it that way. So a couple comparisons that'll help you visualize this a little bit more. Obviously, inbound, we've got the magnet. Outbound, we've got the megaphone. Inbound is diet and exercise. It takes time, but it pays off. Whereas outbound is kind of that steroid approach. We've got the tortoise versus the hare. Which one is which? That's right. The turtle or the tortoise is your inbound, where the hare or the rabbit is your outbound. So which one are you gonna go out and do? You gotta make a choice at some point, right? I know it's still pretty confusing because there's a lot of different options even within those two camps, but it's good to understand the two camps. There is no right answer. It kind of depends on your situation and what money do you have or what time do you have? What's your overall strategy and approach, that end goal that you're trying to get to anyway? If I knew nothing about your company and you asked me which one you should go for first, generally, I lean towards going for the inbound efforts because it's going to give you that strong, sturdy foundation over time. And as you're refining some of those inbound efforts, you're also getting a better understanding of your target audience. And then when it's time to start putting some money into some ads and holiday sales and Black Fridays, it's basically putting gasoline on a fire that you've started to create. To be honest, I'm doing inbound marketing right now, creating this video, talking about things that I know about that maybe could help you out and what your goals and what your pursuit is. There's a ton of information out there on inbound and outbound marketing. There's a ton of people with many opinions about which one you should go for and why. In a lot of cases, you're not going to be picking one or the other and that's just it. You're going to be using some sort of inbound strategy or some of the different things that fall within the inbound camp, and you'll also be doing some outbound stuff as well. Remember, at the end of the day, all marketing is effective communication. Once you put some strategy and intent behind how you're communicating with the world, you can take over. Hit me in the comments if you have any thoughts, ideas, questions, concerns, any of it. I'd love to have a conversation with you and get to know you a little bit more. You can find me on Instagram at evanshankmarketing, and I also have a website that I'm building up as we speak, evanshankmarketing.com. Head over to the website and drop your email, and then you'll start to see me in your inbox too.